Welcome to the Wendy and Neverland channel. It's Snoopy Christmas, or Charlie Brown Christmas. I like to think of it as Snoopy. Anyway, welcome and thank you for joining me here today. It is December the 2nd. This is my second go around on this video. I filmed this yesterday on the 1st and it will not connect to my computer. So I'm going to give this another shot and see if it will work this time. It's so frustrating because it takes a lot to get everything out and ready and to do everything, and then you have to wait for a little bit to make sure it's going to be able to upload. And yeah, it's been a full day, and it's still not doing it. So I'm just gonna give this another shot. Anyway, I hope you are having a fantastic day. I don't know if you noticed when I showed the date that it was a sunny day here today. It's cold, or colder, I know, compared to Alaska, the Midwest, some other parts of the country. It's not cold to them, but it's upper 30s, low 40s. So it's been a little cold. Yesterday, I went for a hike, hike, whatever. I mean, it was part hiking, at a place I'd never been before. It was on some bluffs overlooking the Willamette River, and it was lovely. It started out, there's kind of this little playground area for kids, you know, to play on and stuff, and then the trail, it's a nature park, and the trail veers off from that, and there's several different trails, and some of them kind of go up into the hills and in the woods and stuff and kind of loop back around. I did not have a map, so I was just kind of winging it and wandering around as I usually do. I try to have a map, but if I don't, then I just wander, and you know, I've got pretty good sense of direction, so I can tell I'm probably going in the right direction if I need to get back to my car. I could always turn around and just backtrack, but that's not a lot of fun. So I was hiking around, and it was lovely wooded area. I might have a little bit of video I can stick in here so you can see it. But because I didn't have a map and I was just kind of going the best that I could, when I took this one particular trail, the way it ended was rather odd. It came out between two houses. So I think you literally walk on kind of part of their driveway a little bit. You're supposed to, but that's just the way that they've done it. And then not only that, you kind of have to kind of wind around some streets before you get back on the road where the parking lot to your car was. So I figured that out and got back to my car. But as I was exiting this trail between these houses, I noticed there were several signs that I did not see when I started the trail at the other end. So the trail signs, and I'm used to seeing things, especially now, there might be something about COVID, about staying safe and keeping distance and stuff like that. You know, a variety of different things they might have on the trails. So as I turned around and looked at this one, I was a little shocked. And some of you are going to totally freak out. And I understand that. It said that in May of 2019, so yes, it was a year and a half ago, but the signs are still there. May of 2019, a cougar had been sighted in the area. Yeah. So some of the things they list under that was, don't hike alone. I was alone. Make lots of noise, which I wasn't because I didn't know I needed to. And then some of the other tips and points were what to do if you are confronted by a cougar. It was like, if you're going to have the signs in this spot, which is kind of an odd place to start, why would you not have the signs over in the multiple other areas this trail starts? Yeah. Just, I was fine. I never saw anything, but still, it's the fact that really, it seems like I have been seeing or hearing different places. So whether that's like a neighborhood app or whatever, or on the website for a particular area, that more and more places on the surrounding areas around the Portland area. So as you get farther out and into more some wooded areas, still kind of suburby, because the one I was at in today truly was more of a suburb of Portland, that there has been more and more sightings of cougars. So it's a little, I think, that's cool. They're kind of coming back. They're getting back into their native areas that they've been before, but not so good if you want to go for a hike or walk or whatever. And I have a hard time finding people to go on hikes with me, because either they don't want to hike. I tend to be a little bit more active, so I like doing that kind of stuff when I can. So, schedules may interfere as well. It may not be that they don't want to, but their schedule doesn't really work for it. They may not want to go on the kind of hikes that I like to do, which might be a little more strenuous than they would like, or the length of trail that I might go on. They don't want to go that long. So it's really hard to find somebody to go with me, and I want to get out in these places. So that part is frustrating. So I don't know what I'll end up doing. I'll figure it out. So yeah, we had another nice day today. I think it's supposed to be partially sunny tomorrow, and then sunny again on Friday, and then it's going to rain again. So I'm trying to get out as much as I can, even though it was chilly. Like when I went yesterday, it was 38 degrees when I was out walking. So, you put your coat on, and I was warm enough. By the time I got back to the car, I was moist. I had worked up enough heat to keep me from being cold. So let's quickly talk about some family stuff before we move on and get into stitchy stuff. So my family right now, they are in Florida. And not just Florida, but Disney World in Florida. You may be wondering to yourself, why aren't you with your family? Well, let me tell you about it. So last Christmas in 2019, we had given our kids a present that was kind of a Christmas present for both that year and this year for 2020, of taking them to Disney World, because it's expensive. It's not cheap. And there are some things, like we are part of the vacation club, so our lodging's taken care of. We don't have to worry about that. My husband had points for airline, so those were taken care of. We used those to get the airline tickets. So, some of this stuff was already covered. It wasn't like an expense we were going to have. So when COVID hit, you're watching every bit of information you can very carefully to see what news there's going to be about, are we going to be able to go? Is the park even going to be open? And what kind of restrictions, if there is going to be some openings? So Florida opened their amusement parks, other places just besides Disney, with restrictions. Now, California still hasn't even opened their amusement parks yet. So Disney is still closed in California, but Florida's been open for quite a while now. You do have to wear a mask the whole time you're in there. So you're outside, it doesn't matter. You have to wear a mask, and you have to wear the full coverage mask from, the top of your nose to under your chin, the whole coverage thing. You can't just wear a shield. You have to wear one of these full masks. Some of the attractions, so like fireworks and parades and shows, like there's a Beauty and the Beast show and a Finding Nemo show that has the actors that do all of the play stuff. And these are very good shows. They're kind of Broadway quality type shows. They're very good. So they're not doing any of those things right now. And their hours are very restricted. Well, I shouldn't say very. They were at first, but now they have they've added a little bit of hours. So some of the parks, there's only a little bit of a difference from their normal hours they might have, but others are drastically reduced. So like Epcot, you can't even go in there till like noon, I think. So that's quite a bit of a difference. They also restrict how many people. I don't know what it is right now because it kept changing, kind of going up and down. So I don't know exactly how many people they're allowing into the parks. So some of the things you have to do different because of that is that you have to make reservations to actually be in the park. You can't just show up anymore with your tickets. You have to make a reservation so that they know how many people are going to be in the park. So there are so many things that are different right now. Because a huge part of it is, I mean, the mask is a huge part, but also because they're not having everything going on, like the fireworks and stuff. I would rather just not go. I go often enough. My husband and I go more often than our kids do because now that they're grown and adults and stuff, they don't come with us every single time. And because we have a vacation club, we tend to go about every year, maybe year and a half. So I have been often enough that if I don't go this one time, it's not that big of a deal. And as I mentioned, I would be happier staying home than I would going. I'm not complaining, I'm not whining, I'm not doing anything about that. I'm really truly happy staying home and letting the kids go with my husband and they'll have a good time. So I'm quite happy. And then I can take care of the cats because we were going to have to find somebody to take care of our cats and that was going to probably cost a lot. So they are all there. Sounds like they're having a good time. And I'm here enjoying my time with the kitties and I'm actually getting a lot done. Christmas tree is part of it. I don't have any decorations on it yet. That's coming hopefully tomorrow. I was hoping to get to it today, but some of the other stuff I was doing just took too long and I wasn't able to do it, which is good because the last 2 days before this, I have been doing a lot, including going up and down the stairs a lot. And now my knees were kind of starting to bother me. So having a day where I wasn't running up and down the stairs, which is what I'm going to have to do when I bring the decorations down, it's kind of nice to have a little break. So funny thing about while they were there at Disney World, a couple of years ago, I had gotten something and loved it. And it was this tea, this yummy, yummy tea. I don't know if it's going to show up without glaring. It's Twinings, and it is called Enchanted Forest Fruits. It's black tea. And we found out that even though it's Twinings, and we can get Twinings here, this particular blend, the only places that you can get it are at Epcot in the UK Pavilion, because at all the country pavilions in Epcot, all their stuff comes from their countries. So you can get this at the UK Pavilion there, or you can get it in England. Those are the only two places you can get this stuff. And I love it. It is so yummy. So I actually ran out, and my husband happened to be out in Florida for business, I think for work. And he happened to have that year an annual pass. We don't always get one to go to Disney, but he happened to have one that year. And because he was out there, it's like, it's going to be free for me to get in. So I might as well go. So I said, well, since you're going, will you get me more of this tea? Which he did. He brought me back a box of tea. It's empty. It's now empty again. And I'm very frugal with it. I try not to go through it too quickly so that it lasts. Well, it's empty again. And so I told them, while you're there, can you get me some more? And feel free to bring back as many boxes as you want, because the last 2 times we've only brought back 1 box. So they were at Epcot yesterday, and he went in to the tea shop in the UK Pavilion, and they told him they ran out 2 days ago. But they were supposed to get a shipment in. I think they thought it was supposed to be today, and they were hoping that there was going to be more in there for that. So they will get back to Epcot again. I don't know which day. And hopefully they'll have some more. I really hope so. I did find this on a website, and I tried to order it, and I went through and got through the payment process, and when that was over, it said there was a problem with my payment, which I have run into this when I've tried to order from other countries before. So I think I just need to figure out what the problem is, why it's not accepting the payment, and maybe I can get it if he can't. We'll see. But it sure would be nice because it is so yummy. So that's what's been going on around here. Let's get into some whips, because that's, you're here for that, and I know it's already getting into quite a few minutes so far. So I was working on the Life with Cats stuff, and that was all of these patterns. So this is from the Blue Flower. I had been finishing up this one. Let me get to there. So We Are Not Amused one. I was almost finished with it, real close. And I was going to move on to this one, the Why Are You Surprised? And I thought when I told you that I might get a little bit of this done, but I'm not anticipating getting a lot of it done because I didn't have that much time left. Well, did I grossly underestimate how much I was going to get done? I don't know what happened. I don't know if I had more time to stitch or if I don't know what happened. I truly don't know what happened. But I got a whole lot more done than I thought I was going to get done. So here it is. It's so big, I'm just not going to be able to put something behind this. I finished the We Are Not Amused, which I knew I was going to, and then I jumped up here and I finished all of that. I finished all of this. Why Are You Surprised one? I'm kind of surprised that I finished all of it. One thing that I didn't notice on the pattern, but I noticed as obviously with the stitching, I could see it, is that it says up here, cat bed. And when you look at, let me see if I can see on the pattern, it doesn't show up very well. You can see the box and it just doesn't show up too much. So that was kind of a nice surprise to see that. Yeah. But not only that, I jumped down here and started working on the third one. So this is the chair, the big giant chair that the cat is sitting on that says, "You may now approach." So I've gotten that kind of outlined a little bit, and then I will, the next time I pick this up, I'll fill in the rest of that. And I said last time that I thought I would get like a mat to put over all of it, because I'm going to keep this all as one piece, and that maybe I would just have cutouts in the mat for each of these pieces. I'm kind of thinking now I might do something slightly different and do some kind of border stitch that would go across here and across here to separate those, and then just frame it as a, without the mat, so that it's just one big piece that you can see the whole thing. I'm not sure yet. As we all know, I end up changing my mind. I just don't know exactly what I'll end up doing. So that remains to be seen. And of course, you will all see that when I get it done, and you'll know what I decided on. So something that I worked on and have worked on a couple of times. I haven't showed you yet any of this because I didn't know really how much I was going to do the first time, and I just thought, oh, I'm going to wait a little bit until I work on it again and figure out what's going on. And that's this stitching bee. I've showed you this before, this pattern that I had gotten, but I haven't shown you any of the stitching that I've done. So I've started working on this, and this was what was going to go on the top of the box that had all those drawers that would hinge different directions. That's what I got to put on the top, even though it doesn't necessarily require anything for the top. It's just what I decided I wanted to do. So that is here. This is what I've gotten done on it so far. Let's tuck this back a little bit so I can hold it a little easier. So I've got the giant letter B, I've got the giant actual B, and then there's a needle, a sewing needle. I'm working on the flowers that are going to go, and there'll be some on this side as well, and then there's a couple more bees down here, and continue with some border stuff around it. So, doing a little there. It's working out nicely. It's looking very nice. It will fit. I did put, because I think this black stitching at the bottom and it'll come across from here, so I knew how tall it was. I can't remember if, let me see here. I think even though there's still some flowers that run here, I could kind of guess how wide it was, and it would fit that too, because it's pretty much square, the box is. So it's gonna fit. It's gonna be very cute. Can't wait to get it finished. So that's kind of a new little thing, and I just take this when I need something small and not complicated with me if I'm going somewhere and I need something like that to take. So that's kind of what I end up doing. Now, the one I picked up after, let me find it in here, after I did the Life with Cats, I picked up this again, Winter in the Forest. This is the Just Nan. There's all 4 seasons for each, pattern has a season on it. I do have all 4. If you've been watching me, you know I've done all 4, and I've showed you all 4. This is the last one I've had to put my hands on again for the second time. And of course I did a Wendy, and I didn't take a picture of the before. So we'll just see what I did so far. And that's here. So I have gotten a lot done. I believe when I started this, I had these 3 trees and the snow right under it done. I didn't have the bird done. And that was what I did in January. So I've done everything else since then. I believe I still have a couple of days left to work on this before my 10 days are up. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe that's what it is. You can see I've done this down here. I've still got some more letters that go over here. So this deer, reindeer, whatever it is, this bird, and there's a little bunny down here, and then all of these letters that will run all in the different corners here are 1 over 1. Everything else is over 2, but those are 1 over 1. So be very careful when I do those. I do have to still put the date up in here, but that I will wait for when I finish it, because I don't know. I'm guessing it'll be in 21, but definitely not this year. There is a tree that sticks down here and some border that runs even more around this. There's different stuff here besides what this looks like. It's got a little bit of the snowflake stuff, but then it's also got another pattern in there. And then that just repeats with the corner ones and then the side ones all the way around. Clearly, I won't finish this within my 10 days, but I will probably start working on the stuff that's down here and maybe move over to the corner a little bit and do another corner or part of another corner. There is beading that goes with these. All Four Seasons has the beads, so I will still need to add those as well once I get to that point. So yeah, I think I went back and looked, and I have one more that will definitely take 10 days probably to work on it. I don't know if I'll finish it in that 10 days. I might, I just don't know. I have another one that's kind of a smaller size, and I might finish that one before the 10 days is up. And then I have another small that is almost done, a really small. So that will probably get done. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to get my hands on everything before December is over and, you know, achieve that goal that I set out in January. So we'll just have to wait. I'm not going to do it in this video, but probably in the next one, wrap up what happened this year and what my plans are for next year. Hint, I am not going to have new starts in January again like I did this year. I got to finish up what I have. So I may add some new things, but definitely won't have in January like I did this year. So we're getting there. The other thing I wanted to show you and talk about are some things that I will have on my Bags by Wendy Instagram, possibly by the time you see this, because they're just about ready to be put on there. And not knowing how long this video is going to take to be able to get uploaded and edited and all that good stuff, we'll see. Anyway, these are new things. These are not things that I have showed you in the last videos. So don't think that this is the same stuff. So the first thing that I wanted to show you, and I do have one of these already on my Instagram, the Bags by Wendy Instagram, but I actually have two different styles, and they are calendars. So I have a horizontal and a vertical one. Okay. So they do have a back, so they stand up on a desk on their own. They are photos, so each month has a photo to it, as well as the you know, the month tracker kind of thing. So you get a photo. So here's an example of one. So you get a photo and then the month, and I have tried real hard. It's taken a long time, find paper that corresponds to the photo that looks nice. And then with the month part of it, I chalked the edge of it to, again, match the coloring that was with all of this. So let's see what else we got here. I'll show you another page. What do we have? Here's another pretty one. And that's, oh, got that light. So there's another pretty one. Both the horizontal and vertical calendars have different photos in them, obviously, because you have to orient your pictures differently. And I didn't always have the same pictures taken in different orientations. So let's see what we can find here. I mean, I'll show you some differences in the flowers. They're not all flowers for all of them, but here's an example of a flower one. Very pretty, nice peachy color. And then something like this. Pretty. This is at the Japanese Gardens. So lots of pretty photos. I'm not going to go through and show you all of them. And the horizontal one has, you know, the stand as well, so it'll stand up on your desk or wherever you put it. These are like 10 inches across here and about 5 inches tall for this one. Same measurements for this, just opposite directions. 10 inches high, 5 inches wide. So I'm going to have those on my site for purchasing, in case you want to do that. So then the next thing that I have to show you it just tickles me. It just makes me smile and giggle when I see them, because they're adorable and I love them. And that is these. These are bags. I've got two different ones, two different sizes. This is actually a burlap with this coffee print stuff all over it. They're leather handles, straps, and it has a nice brown interior. This one is pretty wide. This is like 22 inches wide, and it's got this box base to it, so it's, you know, got a 6-inch base across, so will hold quite a bit. But from that base to here on this one, it's only about 9 inches, so it's pretty wide and kind of shallow. But I kind of like it because if you were to holding on to this in the store or whatever, if you're using it to get groceries, or even if you're just carrying things to somebody's house, it's nice and wide and shallow, and you can easily drop something in here or get something out. You don't have to dig too far or too deep. It's easy to get stuff into it. So I really, really, really like this. It's so cute. And then the other one, same material, but this one is about 12 inches tall. It also has about a 6-inch box base there, and it is at the top, when you hold it like this, it's about 17 inches. Okay. Now the base isn't that wide. It's probably closer to 15 or 14. And that's the same thing with this one. When you're holding the top, you're not accounting for the size of the base, which is just a little bit smaller. Okay. It just would expand and then be more the size of what the bottom is. So very, very cute. Now, I know some people are like, I hate burlap, I hate burlap, I hate burlap. Everything gets all over my clothes. I don't know if it's because of the printing on it and that helps that, but I have not had anything get on me. So I don't know if it would happen. I can't say 100% sure that it's not going to have anything get out on you, but I haven't dealt with that. Not with these. So those will be on the site as well, if you're interested. I know that some people say that they aren't part of Instagram, so they don't necessarily see that, but hopefully if you want to, then you can either make an account, and remember, it can be private, but that way you're able to follow people and you're able to look at their site. So take a look. You know, I've got lots of other things on there too. I had mentioned in the last video that I was going to have a sale so that if you wanted to get stuff on there, it would be a little bit cheaper, and that way maybe you wanted to get stuff either for yourself or for a gift for somebody, whatever you wanted to do. If it was $10 or under, it was 10% off. If it was over that, then it was 20% off. So take a look, see if you wanted to get something. I did not mention last time, I forgot about this, is to say how long I was going to have that sale for. It's been going on because it's been 2 weeks since my last video. And I will probably keep it on there for another 2 weeks. And that way, hopefully, you're getting close to the middle of December. I will probably cut it off at that point because not knowing how shipping is going to run. So not only do you have issues with this Corona stuff, and it seems to be affecting shipping at times, but then you got the holiday shipping, and that slows everything down too. So I want to make sure y'all have time to get something and it gets to its destination when it needs to. So take a look at that. I did see something on a couple people's Instagram that I wanted to share. I don't have it in front of me, so I'm just trying to remember from memory. It was kind of a neat little thing that said, how can you support creators without having to spend money? So one of those was giving them likes or thumbs ups, which people have done when I post things, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But you could tell other people about it. You can copy and paste it and send it to other people so they can see those and know. So there's, and that's only a few. I think there were like at least 10 different things that said you could do. So if you've seen that little post by other people as well, or maybe even the same people I saw that posted it, you know, keep that in mind. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell everybody. And then they can come check it out and see what I have there. It's not all just stitching related. It's other things as well. So there might be something in there that you want to get for Christmas for somebody. So, yeah, I think that's about it. So I hope you all are having a great December so far. I know it's only been 2 days, and even though I showed you it was December 2nd, if you can't tell, it is dark outside, so it's nighttime, so you are not going to see this potentially until the 3rd at the earliest, because it's going to take that long to get everything, to get it to upload on my computer as well as edit and then post it to YouTube. So anyway, I hope you're all having a great December, that you're decorating your house and making it look lovely and beautiful and having fun doing that, and whatever fun things you normally do. Maybe it's driving around seeing Christmas lights somewhere. You know, whatever it is, it's just being cozy around a fire or even the TV with a cup of hot chocolate. Oh yeah, good stuff. I've seen lots of YouTubes where people are making these hot chocolate bombs. Yeah, it's basically a shell of chocolate that you fill with hot chocolate powder and maybe some marshmallows. And then when you put it in your hot water or your hot milk, it melts and all the powder comes out. You stir it all up and it's yummy. Maybe you want to make some of those. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up and send you off into the video world here. And hopefully you will have a good day, good evening, good month, good Christmas, all the good stuff. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Happy holidays.